How's it going, everybody? How are we all doing? So, just about everyone in here is either already working or, at the very least, starting to think about what they want to do after they graduate. Now, I know personally, this process has been a little bit stressful. So at times, it's overwhelming. You got to think about what you want to do for the rest of your life, and then you got to start thinking about how you're going to get there, what schools you want to go to, what classes you have to take, how long you might have to stay in college. There's a lot going on. And recently, we've seen how kind of unstable and difficult to navigate the job market can be. One of the most talked about parts of our job market here in the United States is actually outsourcing. Some people say, let's take a minute to talk about what outsourcing is. Outsourcing is, of course, when a company that's based here in America chooses to outsource their production to other countries like China, Vietnam, or India. Some people think that outsourcing is great for the economy because, obviously, these companies are seeking it out to make it cheaper. So cheaper production prices are going to make products cheaper for the consumer. But it's obvious to me that because of the economic, moral, and even political impacts that outsourcing can have on our country, it's actually having a negative impact. Let's get straight into the economic side of things. Now, the main way that outsourcing can affect our economy is through the job market. According to Zippia.com, up to 300,000 jobs every year are being outsourced from America to other countries. And there's up to 30 million at-risk jobs. Jobs like online tech service or factory production line workers are all at risk of being outsourced for cheaper prices in other countries. Now, these are some big numbers, so let's slow down, take a minute to talk about what that means. This massive exodus of jobs from our country, these could all provide great opportunities for many Americans who are struggling. In 2020, unfortunately, we saw a massive increase in unemployment. And these numbers make you think that maybe if Apple had less jobs available in China and a few more here in the United States, some of these Americans might not be so bad off. Moving into the moral side of things, this might seem like a stretch to you, but outsourcing can actually enable child labor. Now, companies that are seeking out cheap and easy labor in other countries might inadvertently find themselves enabling child labor. Unfortunately, even big companies like Apple and H&M have found themselves in this situation and been penalized for it. Now, obviously, I don't think that these companies are actively searching out kids to fill out their production lines. But according to HBR.org, with a production line as long and complex as a companies like Apple, it can actually be very difficult to ensure that every step of the process is free of child labor. From mines to computer chip manufacturing to iPhone assembly, there's a lot going on. And it's hard to manage, especially if the company isn't even producing these items in the country they're based in. Now, let's take a bit to move on to the political side of things. You might know that originally the United States was founded around the idea of isolationism. Our founding fathers wanted to stay separate from everything that was going on in Europe. We wanted to stay self-reliant and away from all that. According to history.state.com, George Washington actually frequently advised against long-term permanent alliances with other countries. He instead promoted short-term alliances only in emergencies so that we could maintain our sovereignty as a nation. Now, this might seem like a little bit of a strange detour, but when you really think about it, it actually applies really well here. Now, the United States has become extremely reliant on other countries. Now, up to 20% of all of our imports from other countries are coming from China alone. Now, worst comes to worst, if China maybe decides they don't want to send us any more stuff, it would have a massive impact on not only our economy, but the way we live our lives. It'd be huge. Overall, I think it's safe to say that outsourcing is having a negative impact on our country. With less outsourcing, it'd be easier to find a job, the job market would be more stable, and we'd be less reliant on other countries. Now, because of the economical, moral, And of course, political impacts outsourcing is having on our nation, I think it is bad.